What is going on, everybody? A day in the life vlog of a reptile breeder. I woke up around 9 o'clock today. I had some new mealworms to put away, so I just got done putting away 40,000 mealworms. I also had to follow up for a customer on a question if Redline Shipping is shipping on Monday, which is President's Day. So I was able to do that, and I was able to confirm that they are shipping on Monday. Next, it's video drop day. So I dropped my video today, how to brumate a tegu. And what I normally do is play it on my computer on my Geeky Gecko business account and then play it on my phone on my private account. I also take the thumbnail and share it to Instagram, and later I will take the link and description and I will share it to Facebook. I used to share to Reddit, and sometimes I still do share to Reddit, but for the most part I just stick with Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube promotion. Alright guys, it's Sunday today, so I do have to get ready for church. My wife Whitney, she's one of the praise and worship leaders at the church that we go to out here in Arizona, so I'm getting ready to go to that, have some good worship time with the Lord, and I will be back. We got to say hi to the kitty first. What is it, sweetie? You feel a little overwhelmed? Oh, she wants to go outside. Not right now, okay? Daddy's leaving. Daddy'll be back. Then we'll do outside time, okay? Is that alright? Is that okay? Alright guys, we are on our way. My cat just brought a dead bird to the door. I'm sorry, honey, we can't bring it in. No, I'm sorry. Thank you for leaving it outside. She's so proud that she caught it, and she wants to show us her achievement, but we just can't have that. If there was a way for me to give her outside time without her killing birds, that would be my preference, because I really don't prefer her sinking her teeth into wild animals and then coming in the house and licking us and everything like that. Plus, the life of the bird, I would have preferred that it stays alive, but what can you do? I mean, she's a wild animal at heart. Let's take a quick peek in the ball python room. Make sure no one's escaped. Make sure everything is looking good. Beautiful. We're gonna do a video on these guys soon. This is our banana puzzle clutch that we hatched. Some yellow belly Mojave fluff gene stuff in there. It's crazy, guys. Absolutely insane. Here's another really cool puzzle we produced from our yellow belly puzzle pairing. So I think this is yellow belly pastel puzzle right here. Really interesting looking animal. There's a spider. Everybody always loves a good spider. Pastel spider. Possible Krypton. If not, it's het clown het puzzle for sure, or it's Krypton het puzzle. It's just a little clown Russo het puzzle here. Trying to get it to eat. The rest you'll have to watch in our puzzle video. Let me show you guys what a lock looks like for ball pythons. You can see the male and female's tail right there, interlocked with each other. This pairing is gonna make a bunch of all white snakes, blue eye Lucy's. Alright guys, it is Sunday, so that is rat cleaning day for us. We got our boy Jonathan here. Jonathan, you want to take us to your office and tell us a little bit about what you do?
Well, here I concentrate on 3 racks at a time, and we pretty much just cycle through them, make sure all of them are getting cleaned up, food, water, and that's pretty much my day, my Sunday.
Yeah, and you do a good job at it, right? How long does it take you?
It takes me around 2 to 3 hours.
Jonathan does a great job with this. You know, it's hard to trust somebody with the exact care of your feeders that you need, but I'm really proud of this guy. He goes above and beyond. He even deep cleans the shed often, right? Once a week, yeah, or like every week. Definitely excellent. So really proud to have this guy on the team.
Thank you.
Okay, now that Jonathan's here, we're going to take care of some of our leopard gecko chores of the day. Chore number 1, I need to check on the hemipene 2 male leopard geckos. If you did not see that video, I'll leave a link to it here in the top right corner. I actually took a peek at them last night. They are doing fantastic, and I'm going to shoot an entire video on it. Alright guys, next on the agenda is actually upgrading some of our younger lemon frost leopard geckos into their observation rack, and so that's what I'm going to throw a time lapse of right here. Alright guys, now the lemon frost is an absolutely beautiful mutation, but unfortunately it comes with some health risks associated for the animals. You can see a couple of lemon frosts right here. We're getting ready to upgrade into their tub. These are actually Afghanicus Generation 1, which are also Fasciolatus and Turkmenicus DNA. So there's a lot of different wild type DNA going on in here. Our goal with this project is to see if we could clean up the health issues and make beautiful, bright, and healthy geckos. The Afghanicus is what's really bringing in a lot of that dark and bold patterning, and then the Lemon Frost is of course bringing in the bright yellow. Beautiful animals, but not without their fair share of health concerns, so not a recommended pet or breeder for anybody at this time. Last year was the Afghanicus year for our Lemon Frost experimentation. We already have enough animals to study from Fasciolatus and Turkmenicus, but we need a certain group of animals to study from Afghanicus. Now these are actually just Fasciolatus Turkmenicus Lemon Frost, no Afghanicus. You can see a lot lighter in coloration compared to the Afghanicus. Because it's less colorful and less saturated of a subspecies, we are actually noticing that there's less health issues with Fasciolatus than there is with Turkmenicus and Afghanicus. And that's very interesting because now we can report this data to scientists and cancer lab researchers, and they could potentially apply this to human research and finding out what genes turning on and off are contributing to animals having better control of tumor expression versus lower or no tumor expression. Fasciolatus, a little bit more darker blacks to this one, but in general, Fasciolatus is going to be much more lighter in coloration and pigmentation than Afghanicus. Fasciolatus in general also has a lot of bright yellow pigmentation that comes in around their face. That's not tied to the Lemon Frost, that's tied to the Fasciolatus. It's really interesting how they will have extra yellow pigmentation on their face when you normally don't see that on regular leopard geckos. It's pretty cool. Just for reference, here is a non-specter Lemon Frost dad. This one's 3 years old. It's from the original stock that we brought in. It's that Turkmenicus Lemon Frost cross generation 3. So it's 87.5% Turkmenicus DNA in this gecko. You can see looking nice and good and healthy after 3.5 years. So the outcrossing definitely does seem to work and make improvements to a certain degree. It's not a perfect fix, but we are still studying it. Look at those eyes though. Truly amazing Lemon Frost eyes that you can see a little bit right there. Now here is the Ghost Lemon Frost, one of our prized possessions over here. You can see just how big these animals are. This is the size, this is the length of my forearm. That's got to be 12, 13 inches or something right there. It is a ridiculously big animal, and that's from the Turkmenicus blood. But you can see the look of this animal is just a bit more lime, pale green in comparison to the first one, which was more of just a yellow. Now that first one was really dark. It just aged really dark for a Lemon Frost because of the Turkmenicus blood. There's a shot of the Lemon Frost eyes. Beautiful, amazing. You can see the coloration difference in this animal though. Definitely more pale. I'm starting to call it more of like a lime green yellow rather than just a true yellow. This is the original Spectre line dad right here. All right guys, we got the lemons updated on their observation rack. So starting from the oldest lemons that we have down to the youngest, we only have up to this shelf right now full. Everything there and below is actually other stuff that I'm waiting to build another rack for. So we don't have too many. That might be like 60 Lemon Frost that we're studying right now, with maybe another 20 or so that are in the baby room that will be moving to this rack, and that'll be it. We'll have one observation rack for Lemon Frost over the next 10 years. We'll look to work with scientists. We'll look to make observations on tumor growth or lack of tumor growth, depending on the wild type outcrossing that took place. And that's it. The best you could do is just try to make a difference, especially a difference that could possibly help humanity understand more about cancer and the research that goes into that. They're studying animals already, like mice and zebrafish, and now leopard geckos are added to that list because all three of these animals, including humans, have this one spot of DNA that is defective and erroneous in some way, and scientists are trying to study how to manipulate that to better fight cancer in human beings. This one science channel, I'll even leave a link to it here in the top right corner, did a video called Frosty, the cancer-fighting gecko. And that was the original lemon frost that came into the pet trade at high dollar, that wound up producing masses of lemon frost for the pet trade. They did a video on him and his descendants and the studies that have been done, professional studies that have been done in a laboratory setting, studying these geckos and how it can help fight cancer. All right, guys, well, I am a little bit parched, a little bit thirsty, so I'm gonna grab some water and actually take a break. And my favorite thing to do on break is play Apex. Okay, now the reason it's so dark in here is because my wife was sleeping. She's not sleeping anymore, so I don't need to use my headphones when playing Apex. Right, hun? Or do I need to use my headphones? All right, I got the pass. I just told my wife, I said, I'm gonna start making a vlog type series, and she's like, I know, I saw what you ordered on Amazon. What did I order on Amazon, hun?
You ordered this, like, baby carrier for your
Baby
phone,
carrier?
and then you ordered this, like, head thing where you put your phone, like, coming from your head.
Correct. I ordered a head mount and chest mount, live GoPro style mount for your phone that you could put your phone in, so I can record myself while cleaning geckos, out and about doing reptile things, and make it that much easier to record content for you guys. Here we go. I've been playing with Revenant because he's pretty cool. He's like a spider. He can climb walls and stuff. He can set traps for people. They have this cool feature called Team Deathmatch right now, but I don't want to play Deathmatch. I want to do some Battle Royale. Alright guys, I just dropped, I got my 301 flatline combo. That's pretty good. Maybe I should do some streaming. What do you think? Should I stream some Apex in the midst of being a gecko breeder? Oh, my wife says no. I was asking the people, who's nobody right now since this is not live. But if I become a streamer, it would be live. Does that make sense? Do you know what a streamer is? So the cool thing about Revenant, he can actually hold extra ammo stacks now. Totally awesome. We could push up on that, I think.
Extra supplies here. Take them or don't.
Chasing her. Ooh, she's close. Oh, he took my ult. See, this is why I love Lifeline. Oh gosh. Alright, well. Alright, we definitely should have won that match. That was pretty bad gameplay there. After a little bit of food, editing some videos for shorts and reels and stuff like that, I'm back on the grind. Gonna go do some more gecko stuff. Alright guys, it's later in the evening now. We got some adult males to clean, and then I'm gonna try to clean one stack of our adult groups breeding. So I'm gonna show some footage of that. Here's our Diablo Blanco Snow Giant male. He's awesome. One of our Inferno Tangerine Tremper males. This is the male Inferno that started it all for us over here. His name is Skittles because he has so many different colors that he really portrays. Kind of fading out with some age, and he's in shed right now, but such an appropriate breeder that I'm still keeping him. Of course, who doesn't like a Black Knight? This is our stud Black Knight breeder named Toothless. We got him maybe 3 years ago now, and he's bred a lot of geckos. Here's just the nice holdback female of ours that has bred for 1 or 2 seasons already. Just waiting on her to ovulate again. Nice colored Black Knight girl. It's a pretty cool production. This is an Afghanicus Snow Generation 1. You can see it has extra spotting to it. Just a little bit more interesting of a pattern than a normal snow would, which is mainly because of the Afghanicus bringing in some interesting stuff. She also is ovulating, as we can see right there. So I'm actually going to pair her with a male right now and put her in a group of other Afghanicus snows. This is just a general super snow. Everybody loves a super snow. I need to make more of these. Actually, I'm planning on making more of these, but I'm going to be making them with Afghanicus and fasciolatus in them. So you're not just getting a normal max snow or super snow that's been inbred with issues for long periods of time, but you'll get a heavily outcrossed one in the Afghanicus and fasciolatus projects. Now this gecko actually came back to me from a customer. It wasn't as dark when I sold it to him, but it is pitch black now. And so once she's past her initial quarantine period, I'll probably put her up for sale for a decent penny. And then if no one takes her, we will make her into a breeder. But if someone wants to take her, she's probably the darkest Black Knight that you will find for sale in America right now or on MorphMarket. And the customer is actually a good friend of mine out here in Arizona, but was having some family issues. I bought the gecko back at a fraction of the price that it was sold, and it wound up helping both parties out for the time. This was one of the Mandarin Inferno girls that came back to us in the deal as well. Pretty decently orange red. It's hard to tell in the camera, but when we throw pictures of her up on MorphMarket and such, when she's ready, you'll see she's a pretty nice girl. We're definitely getting some breeding activity going on with our Afghanicus snow male and this Afghanicus snow female. So what we could get out of this pairing is more Afghanicus snows, some Afghanicus super snows. Really excited for that. Let's take a look. Oh, he stopped courting her when I went to look in the tub, so he'll probably be back at it. Now, I do have this particular project set up in a group, and there's room for one more in that group. But the reason I want the male to breed with her specifically right now in front of my eyes is because the male has been with that group for the last week, and so I want him to breed with her so he doesn't get distracted by the other females, and then I'll put them all together and he could repair with her, rebreed with her, breed with the other females, whatever he wants to do. And if he doesn't show any interest right now in the next 30 minutes or so while I'm working, I'll just put them all in the group and that'll be it. Yep, he's recording her now so we could check out that magic in the making. There you can see him licking his boy parts back in, and they will go back in fairly quickly. Alrighty guys, it is now 10:15 at night. I'm starting to get a little bit tired, but I still got a little bit of energy left in me. I just got done cleaning all the geckos that I needed to in the adult room, and that included making new pairings and finding girls that are ovulating, separating out girls that are not ovulating, putting geckos together that are of the same genetics for breeding. And so we have one male breeding that tub of bold stripes up there. Really excited about that. We got a really thick bold stripe male that has some really nice genetics, and then he's breeding to some thick bold stripe white and yellow girls. There's a few other tubs that he's destined to hit. These little green tags mean that the geckos need to be bred. If it has a date on it, it means that the geckos were bred on that date. So here we got some Black Knight snows crossing into Black Knight that are breeding in here. They just got paired up tonight. There's a nice Black Knight snow. The boy and the rest of them are in there somewhere. So one male, two males, three males. Our Mandarin Inferno project. Mandarin Inferno project, Mandarin Inferno project, Mandarin Inferno project, and right here we got some Afghanicuses crossed to our Mandarin project, so that should be pretty interesting. So that was 7 different groups that I had to set up tonight and kind of organize while cleaning, and that's really what takes the most amount of time. Once the groups are set up, easy peasy. The male is just going to be in there for about a week or so, then he gets the boot, and that tub should be good. I'll put him back with that tub 2 to 3 times a season just to make sure all the girls still have enough of his DNA. Okay, now most of you guys know Whitney. One of my goals tonight is to spend a little time with Whitney because we actually didn't do an official Valentine's Day celebration. So we were supposed to do that, but again, I was working tonight and now it's already 10:20 almost, and I still have 2 more things that I need to do. And I'm debating whether I want to take a break and watch a movie with her and then finish those 2 things, or what I'm probably going to do is do those 2 things real quick. What do you think, hon?
I think that Effie wants you to spend time with us.
Oh, I don't think that's what she thinks. I think she's in La La Land. Hi, baby. So the 2 things that I have to do are actually really, really quick. I just got to set up a few babies and spray down the gargoyles, and then literally that's it. So it should be really fast. I think that'll be best. That way I can just be done and just relax after that. All right, stay awake for 25 more minutes, okay? All right, so I'm just gonna show myself spraying down our gargoyles real quick. They just need some water tonight, and then we can cross this off the list. That barrier, by the way, is for our cat so she doesn't try to pull the lids off these geckos. See, that wasn't so bad. Usually when I tell my wife I have something to do, it's like an hour before it's done or longer. This time, it was very, very quick, so that's good. Now we'll go finish my last task of the night. At least I believe this is my last task of the night, and it's gonna be setting up these babies that I pulled last night. We got some tubs ready to go. We got some hides ready to go. That's gonna make things a lot easier and quicker. So first, let's take a look at what we got. We're gonna put away these Mandarin Inferno crosses. These were temperature sexed to be female. Here we got Clown Inferno crosses, temperature sexed to be female. And here we got some more Clown Inferno crosses, temperature sexed to be female. I always set my babies up with a humid hide. This is a really good practice for them from the start because babies are extremely sensitive to humidity issues and can easily get stuck shed, which could lead to lost limbs, fingers, toes, heads. No, I've never seen a lost head, but... Food dish is gonna be a 2.5 ounce flat black dish. Water dish is gonna be a 1.5 ounce just general plastic souffle cup. Now we have two size worms that we use. The first size is mediums, which are 3/4 inch on rainbowmealworms.net, and they're good for babies up to 2 to 3 weeks. Once they're past 3 weeks, they're eating regular large mealworms like all the adults. And then of course we got our calcium powder, which is osteoform and vionate mixture. And now we could put our babies away in pairs of 2. This one's screaming. They do that. Really nice jungle pattern on these guys. Sometimes I'll sprinkle a couple worms on the floor with a little calcium powder on the floor just for the first week of life for the babies, just in case they don't want to crawl into the bowl or don't find the worms in the bowl. They will easily find the worms that are crawling around their cage. So these guys are good. They just need to be labeled now. These are Mandarin Inferno Generation 1. So I'll just put Mag 1s. These were TSF and they're born on 2/19/23. Now I've experimented with keeping babies in groups of 3, 4, 5, even up to 10 in a very large container. But the way that I really like it and the way that I think they do best is pairs of 2 in a small container, a 3-quart container or a 6-quart container max. And now they're good. You can see them crawling around in there. They'll go on the shelf behind me, which I'll show you after, and they'll be perfect. A couple eggs in here that did not hatch. So I'm going to remove the eggshells that did hatch. And I think there's just one egg, which feels pretty good. Feels solid, like there's something in here. We'll rebury it and put it back in the incubator. See, I usually mark as well if I saw embryos when I pulled these eggs, and that lets me know if the embryos are dying, maybe something's wrong with the incubator. If there's no embryos, maybe something's wrong with the gecko supplementation. It might be going bad, might be going old. There's a number of things I could troubleshoot. Plus I could see, okay, I pulled 3 eggs and all 3 eggs had embryos 2 months ago, and now 2 of those eggs have hatched and 1 of the eggs is about to hatch, and that lets me know that we went 3 for 3 on this. 3 embryos, 3 hatched babies, and this is a really good clutch. I wasn't paying attention and I did make a mistake. I usually use 1 piece of paper towel for the first 2 to 3 weeks of the gecko's life. It's just a little bit easier for the geckos to walk on and not get stuck under the newspaper, because newspaper is pretty strong. Even though I don't think they would, the plastic is slippery and sometimes they have trouble grabbing onto the plastic. One time I found a baby leopard gecko right here that was passed away on the side of the plastic, and it was already a few weeks old, so it should have been able to get over the newspaper. But since that time, it's kind of like scarred me for life that newspaper might be too strong for geckos to get out of. I really don't think that's the reason that that baby passed away. It could have been a number of things. After finding the baby that way, that was like, I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks old that way, it's just kind of like scarred me for life now. But again, I'm not really too worried about it because I really don't think it was the newspaper. So we're just going to leave the newspaper for this one. Clown Infernos. Clown is a great gene and Inferno is a great gene. They both carry high amounts of green coloration, and so they tend to make a really good mix. See, these were 4 embryos. Yeah, I think I already pulled 2 eggs the other day, so we went 4 for 4 on this one as well. So this is how I label my genetics to keep it simple. The first part is like the first main genetic. The second part is the second main genetic. So this is a Clown Inferno Generation 1. If I cross this back to a Clown, that would be Generation 2. Now within these groups, I know that there's Bold in Clown, there's Bandit in Clown, there's Red Stripe in Clown, there's all kinds of lineage in Clown that I'm aware of, and same with Inferno. There's Emerine in Inferno, there's Tremper in Inferno, there's Eclipse in Inferno. So these are just the 2 main genetics, and then if you really want to get nitty gritty, whenever I sell these babies, if someone really wants to know like the exact lineage I could write all that out for them, also possible hets, etc. And then of course TSF 21923. And the reason I like the front opening hides for the babies, it makes it just a little bit easier for them to get inside compared to if the hole is on top. But for older geckos, it's definitely better to have the hole on top because they will kick their dirt out once they're big enough, and that becomes really messy in the cage, and it's just kind of a waste of substrate. Worms in the bowl, worms on the floor. Not as many because there's only one baby going in here for now. If the sibling hatches tomorrow and I can easily find the tub, I'll put them together. Kind of show you guys what a baby leopard gecko looks like hatching out. They're pretty good, as you can see, right out of the egg. They're rocking and rolling. You know, you can see just a little bit of greens coming through, a little bit of jungle pattern. This gecko's really going to take a completely different form over the next couple weeks, leading into the next couple months. It's got really white toes, which makes me think that it is het eclipse. Tends to be a sign of het eclipse. You can see those really white feet there. All right, so you can see right here, this one was 5 embryos that we found, and one of the babies just hatched from this egg, and there's 4 good eggs left. So it looks like these 5 also will pan out, and these are really big eggs, so I would not be surprised if they're big babies. However, big eggs don't always mean big baby. Now, if your vermiculite is ever a little dry, this one's not too dry, but if it ever is, you could just spray a little water in it. I would spray water along the edges, and the water will sink all the way to the bottom and just kind of settle around the bottom. You just don't want water sitting on top or right underneath your egg, because it will kind of drown the egg in a way, especially if the embryo is young. All right, guys, there's where the youngest babies go, all the way up here, and then there's dates of when these were cleaned. These do go 2 deep, and they usually stack 4 or 5 high. So like using this as an example, this actually is stacking 6 high, and it's 2 columns deep. And if there was babies in here, there would be 2 babies for each of these. So that would be 12, 24, that would be 24 babies just in this one column. But once they get older, they start to get separated out. You could kind of see all the different geckos we have. And then once they go up for sale, and eventually once I have time to build more racks, we're gonna start to continue to build these racks. The problem is, even if I have a whole room of these racks, which would be like 9 of them in here, it would take up the whole room, and it would still hold less geckos than this little space holds, because of the way these tubs stack 2 deep. The problem with these are the lids can pop off if they're weak. However, we have a large amount of lids here that we could switch out for weak lids, but still, there's still always a chance that a lid doesn't get closed all the way, even though me and the team members around here are very careful to check that. You just never know. And sometimes there are geckos that have escaped in the past. We haven't had one recently, so that's really good. Maybe we're finally on top of things, but it's just something I always worry about. Compared to if you have the geckos in these racks, there's no way they're getting out of there, because that wood is just barely 1/8 of an inch, sometimes a little smaller than an 1/8 of an inch gap. There's also like a 1/4 inch of a lip right here, maybe a little over quarter inch, so that the tub cannot easily get pushed out. Well guys, I'm gonna officially call it a night there, spend some time with my wife, watch a little TV. This is actually better than most nights. I think it's just about 10:45 maybe right now, close to 11. Most nights I'm not finishing up until 2, 3 in the morning. Now, I still have to take a shower, and then once I get out the shower, I'm probably gonna answer some emails and Messenger questions, Instagram questions, YouTube comments, all that kind of stuff. But just as far as the physical work side of things, usually I'm not done until between 1 to 3 in the morning a lot of times. So 11 o'clock, actually not bad. So thank you guys for chiming along in this new vlog style video that I have. What did you think of this? Do you want more of these style videos? Let me know in a comment below so I can see what is valuable to you and what you guys desire to see. So I appreciate you guys. I'll see you in the next video. And until then, have a geeky gecko great day. Peace.